Hey, what's up? It's Vinny Ten at Vinny Ten Ṛaciŋg. Welcome to Friday, day before Memorial Day weekend. It is incredible what's going on here in the shop. Super busy all the time. If I look a little disheveled to you, I got a little bit of a story. Well, this morning I get up, get to the shower at 6:45 in the morning, turn it on, waiting for the warm water to come up. No warm water. I'm like, what? Maybe the boiler switch went off or something like that. Not so lucky. I go down to the basement, the boiler switch is on. I take one more step onto the basement floor. I got 55 gallons of hot water all over my floor. So we'll address that on Monday or Tuesday. That'll be my Tuesday rant because I got something to say about that ties into our industry. So last week we talked about waiting for the powder coater parts to come for my friend's VQ35 rev up. Well, they're here. Obviously, they're perfect. They're going to be beautiful. I can kind of peek through here and kind of see the color. It's probably a hair lighter, but I think this is as close as we're going to come to it. So I think he's going to be super happy about that. I'm actually going to work on this all day tomorrow. I got a free day, and the reason I got a free day is because we thought we were going to go testing tomorrow, but we're not because there's a 70% chance of rain down in Cecil County. And really, at this point, it's not like going to Englishtown. It's not like going to ACO where you can go there, bang in, bang right out if it's rained out. Now it costs you $1,000, $1,200 to go racing. So you really got to make sure that you can get to the track, that it's not going to be raining, and that you can make some passes. It sucks. It absolutely sucks that there's no E-Town. It sucks even more that there's no ACO, but that is what the cards were dealt with, and we got to make it work. Over there, I started while I was waiting for this. I'm just not going to stand around. I started on a set of EJ25 cylinder heads. Those are for Steve's race car. Steve's engine that's in his race car has actually been in there for 7 years. He's won 4 SCCA regional championships with that car on the same engine. And there's nothing wrong with it. And we don't expect anything to be wrong with it. But like after 7 years of just hardcore racing, something could happen at any time. I mean, it's a great build. I'm glad I had the opportunity to build this motor. It makes, approximately 450, 500 horsepower. It makes equal amount of torque as it does horsepower, which is what you really want in an autocross car. And actually makes 500 foot-pounds of torque and 450 horsepower. So that's going to be his new power plant right there. And I won't get back to that until Tuesday. I'm really hoping that tomorrow I kind of have a quiet day because we really didn't schedule anything. We kind of scheduled a little on the light side just so I would have time to go racing. But since that's not going to happen, I kind of got a quiet day. I can sneak in here tomorrow. It's a holiday. There's not going to be a lot of people around. My fellow shop owners, they know what I'm talking about, where they can get some quiet time to get a lot of things accomplished. That's what I'm hoping for tomorrow, get this assembled, and then rock and roll back over to that on Tuesday. Let's go see what the guys are up to. We had a busy week. Obviously, it's Friday. You guys only really get to see the Friday cars, but we had just a myriad of cars in the shop, very eclectic cars. We got some more cars coming in, and, like you can find in my shop a 66 Mustang as well as, a 2015 GTR, and we're capable of handling them all. So come on, let's go see what the guys are doing. Hey, Steve.
Hello.
Playing with the TV? Yeah. Kennedy, be careful. You're going to get your interview soon. All right, guys. All right. This is a very typical turbo import car. Comes in, it's rough running, so finally the customer has to bring it in. And the things that went wrong with it are like just typical maintenance stuff. Guys, if you're going to modify your car, guys, you're going to upgrade your car, guys, you got to maintenance your cars. The T-bolt clamps get loose, mass air sensors get contaminated, air fuel sensors go bad. You really got to maintenance your car. This is the time to do it. Obviously, springtime, this is when you want to do it, so you're ready to go hot and heavy over the summer. Just describe, Lucas, for us some of the things like on a maintenance level on this car. What did the car come in for?
Got some plugs.
Yeah.
Got a belt.
Look at this. You think this is running good? You think that's running good? That's not running good.
Got a belt missing a huge chunk
Yeah.
out of it.
I mean,
Missing out of it too.
I want to go faster. Meanwhile, you got no belt in the car.
AFR sensor that's been in there since probably the beginning of the car's life.
Yeah.
It's been tapped into.
Yeah, great.
Not great.
Not great, obviously.
And then top it all off.
Nice, nice. Let's go modify my car, drive 140 miles an hour, and the fucking ball joints are falling out of my car. This is why you need people like me, because I'm not just going to bring your car in and just do what you tell me to do. I'm going to look at your car from a much different viewpoint and probably saved your fucking life. Again, loose T-bolt clamps, oil change, spark plugs. They'll go back on the dyno, and we'll figure out what's going to go wrong with it from there. It's probably just really a car that doesn't look like it's gotten a lot of love or a lot of maintenance. At least he was smart enough to bring it in, get it handled, move on. That's on top of probably the 5 cars he did, 6 cars he did all week. Interesting car over here, right, Joey?
Yes, sir.
All right. This is a really good customer of mine. Take a good look at this car. Looks like a fucking show car, right? Right? The most mild-mannered guy you would ever imagine drives this car. You see this guy, you wouldn't even think that this guy had an aggressive bone in his body. This car makes 840 horsepower. 840, okay, on 8. Like I said, this guy looks like a mild-mannered guy. That transmission is number 3. And it ain't number 3 because he can't drive. No, it's number 3 because he keeps breaking them, because he turns into Superman when he gets behind the fucking wheel over here, as a lot of customers do. So this is transmission number 3. Somewhere inside the cases is gear number 2, because it doesn't exist anymore.
Nope.
So we're going to give him an estimate on replacing it again, or at this point, get some PPG gears in there and see if we could stop this from happening. But look at this car. I would never look at this car and say, oh yeah, it's an 840 horsepower car. So, you know, Joey's handling this. Did a bunch of other work this week. Again, this is a Friday, so these are Friday cars. I think we actually started on this yesterday, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so, you know, it's still a Friday car. Okay. Yarrick was on that Jeep. Jeep Grand Cherokee, yeah, the white one turned out really, really nice. Did about 3 days worth of work to that car. Last couple of days we've been working on this. We're running the transmission lines. We got the drive shaft done. Hooked up all his air fuel sensors. We actually, again, there's a lot more on this car that will be explained, but even the transmission amount that we were given was incorrect. So again, we had to make something up. And if you come here, I mean, it looks so factory stock. We literally were able to use the factory rear cross member transmission mount and make a plate, a nice, what is that, aluminum half inch. Yeah, so aluminum half inch 6061 plate that we did a perfect adaptation to. We were going to make a tubular cross member, but we decided, you know what? Actually, I wanted the tubular cross member, and Yarrick actually said, well, I kind of made something that I think you'd like. And I was like, nah, let's get it. So he was making the tubular cross member, and I walk up to him to check on the car, and I'm looking at this plate, and I'm looking at the factory thing, and I'm like, this fits perfect. And he's like, yeah, that's what I wanted to do. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm an idiot. See you later. Put this plate in. 20 minutes later, it was in there. So sometimes I have the greatest suggestions, and sometimes I'm my own worst enemy. All right. So as I said, we didn't get a chance to go racing, but that didn't mean, or testing, I should say, that didn't mean that the guys all together weren't on fire. Everyone in my shop went above and beyond to get the car ready, including getting it back to the chassis shop to my friend TJ in order for him to do a window net for me on a Friday, a day before I'm sure a lot of other guys are going. I think we got lucky getting in there because everybody knows it's going to rain, or at least a 70% chance of rain. But we didn't even start this car up since November of last year, because our plan was to get it finished, get it scaled last night, which we got jammed up, it didn't happen, get it over to the chassis shop today, and then bring it back in, start it up, get it on the dyno, get it off the dyno, change the oil, pull it back right where it is basically right now, and do the alignment and the corner balancing. Didn't happen. We kind of got jammed up a little last night, and it just didn't happen. But we did make the chassis shop today. Thank God for TJ putting in a brand new window net for us. And it wasn't just putting in the net. He had to actually weld it all up because the old setup just sucked. And it was dangerous in my point of view, actually. So I'm going to show you my underwear a little bit here. So either I'm going to be talking shit or this car is going to start. Now, I will prove to you this car is dead cold. Dead cold, 60, 64, 65 degrees. We literally just took the inlet covers off just to make sure the turbos still spin, which they do. We did change the oil on it. We do have coolant in it. So, I don't know, Steve, you think it'll start, fire up?
I think so.
I mean, we got 91% on the battery. It started out 31%. Well, let's see if I'm... Okay, fan works. Obviously, we shut it off last year with the fan on because we were probably warming it up. Huh. Let's go. Prime that fuel system, Steve. Yeah, man.
Ready to go?
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-oh. There we go, baby. That's good to go, man. That's pretty cool. I was so nervous after it cranked and didn't start. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to look like an ass. All right, man. That's just awesome. Sounds good. No leaks. Turbos are still spooling, so that's nice. They're still going. That one just stopped. No leaks underneath. Sounds good. Ready for another season, you know? Didn't, well, maybe it puked a little antifreeze. That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, you got to be a man to put that cap on.
Yeah.
You got to be a man.
Who put this on?
That was Josephina.
Yeah.
Josephina put that on.
Whatever.
All right.
Be okay for now.
Okay. All right, we got one more surprise, and then we're done. We're exhausted. We're wiped out. But a lot, you know, this ain't, like I said, this ain't cars and coffee. It's not like, oh, I got to get ready this weekend. I got to wax my fucking car. You know what I mean? It's like it took 4 guys all week to get this car really prepared. So it takes a tremendous effort. And that's probably why those shops don't do what we do. Steve, come on, let's show these guys what you got done this week.
All right, hold on.
I mean,
There we go.
on top of multiple cars that he tuned. All right, you know what this means when it's on the dyno, right? So, again, our good friend Kenny's car. Just one of the nicest people I've ever met. I keep saying just one of the nicest people I ever met, and certainly was there for me at a very low time of my life, and I just can't appreciate this guy enough. He does so much for so many other people. I'm just a small part in his circle, but I am absolutely grateful to be part of that circle. Steve and him go racing all the time. We put the Rebel LS Haul Tech in it for him. Kind of convinced him to kind of do this whole conversion last year, which he put the motor in and then had stock electronics. And then after that, we really said we can really make this car a whole lot better, getting away from the electronics, especially with traction control, which Steve is starting to perfect. Just the car starting, the car running, the car idling. you know, just so much nicer. And I know we can do so much more with this. So now that the system's in, that Steve put in, there's just unlimited what we can now do with this car. Whatever, you want to put a cam in it, blah, blah, blah. You want to put a turbo kit in it, blah, blah, blah. You want to put a supercharger in it, blah, blah, blah. It's done. So, you know, the workmanship, the wiring, the dash, the mounting of the computer, the mounting of the switches in the relay, just all of that stuff, super, super nice. If you can get in there, you see the box underneath the steering wheel. You can come in from the other side, you can see it as well. Just really nice workmanship. You know, after a few weeks, again, a car that didn't need to languish here for months and months and months. Tough job because, you know, to be honest with you, we were a counter person short. We do have Kennedy now, but we were a counter person short. So the last few weeks have been really, really rough in the sense of, you know, that we're getting busy, just in time of the season, that we do get busy. And at the same time, Steve and I are both trying to do our regular jobs as well as getting back to customers and, you know, selling work and getting our work done. It has been slightly tough. So we've been basically part-time workers as tuners and engine builders because we've been filling that role. And it's a very difficult role and very time-consuming role. So you don't think that, but believe it or not, the point person in your shop is probably the most important person because that's the first person that you guys are going to contact. So with that being said, this car just came out phenomenal. You know, again, you know, once again, Steve rises to the occasion. You give him enough time, and I've learned this, and I've actually learned this about him. If you pressure him, he doesn't do well. And not that he doesn't do well under pressure, he does really well under pressure. But when he learns things, new things, you just got to leave him be. Just leave him be. Give him a couple of days, 2-3 days, and all of a sudden, I'll be over there building an engine, and the next thing I'll hear is, whoom! And I'll be like, yo, my man got it. He got it. He got it. He got it. From here on in, it's over. So anyway, with that being said, Steve, I'd love you to show some of the work that you do. So why don't you jump in there, fire in a hole, let's make it happen. Shut that down. I know we don't like doing that, but shut it down. So why would you go to a Haltech, right? It's like, well, why should I do a Haltech? I'm going to make the same horsepower because I really didn't change anything in my car. I'm like, you don't understand. It's going to make your car run so much better, so much cleaner. There's so much processing going on in a factory ECM that they use very little for what we really want it to be. So what does that look like? Like, how can you describe that, Vinny? Well, here. Look at the numbers carefully, 581 to 584. So the blue line is the factory computer, and the red line is the Haltech computer. And you're like, oh, well, it's not that big of a difference, you know, blah, blah, blah. That's because you're retarded, okay? Look at the linearness of look at the graph now. Look how much smoother the Haltech is over the factory ECM. Yeah, it made the same horsepower, but look how choppy that is. You think that's great for your motor? No, it's not great for your car. So with that being said, the Haltech will smooth out these cars. It has the processing capability to do that. And it's just, again, look at this. Look at the red line being the Haltech. It just completely cleans everything up. I can't wait to give this car to Kenny. It's his birthday this week. He deserves this car. He deserves so much more. This car came out great. We're still tweaking it just a little bit. And with that being said, when we deliver this car, wish him a happy birthday. That day is going to be another knockout.